Today, I'm going to show you how to change your own spark plugs and not get ripped off by the dealer. Now, the car that I'm going to be demonstrating on today is a 2001 Mercedes SLK320. However, the principles of this video should still apply to almost every vehicle you're going to come in contact with. So, in some cases, a lot of your vehicles may have a cover like this over the engine. However, some of you may not, and in that case, just skip this step. But on my car here, we have an engine cover. And actually, in this engine cover, it's different because it actually holds the air filter for the vehicle. But to get started here, the first thing that we're going to do is take off these two pipes just by pulling back and forward. And then repeating the same thing on that again. Now, like many engine covers, this one just has 5 clips on each of the sides, front and side. And it just pulls straight up. There's those clips. Now, this is a 6-cylinder engine, and you would normally know how many spark plugs you're going to need to replace by the number of cylinders, so a 6-cylinder engine would need 6 spark plugs. But actually, on Mercedes, they're kind of weird, and they do things a little bit differently because they have 2 spark plugs on each cylinder, so in this case, it has 12. To find the spark plugs on your vehicle, you're going to first need to determine, do you have a V engine, which means cylinders going in a V shape, or do you have an inline engine, for example? So meaning that all the cylinders are in one straight line. In that case, if you have an inline engine, it would normally be one after the other, after the other, after the other. But in this case, this is a V6, so it's going to have 3 cylinders on either side. And you're normally going to see a box like this, and it would be like 1, 2, 3. And then on the side of your engine, you would have these cords coming down from what these are called coil packs to your engine. These right here, these little caps that the wires are connected to, are covering the spark plug and connect to it. So after you pull these off, you would need a tool like this, more specifically a ratchet and a spark plug puller socket. Now, these are relatively affordable. They're not too expensive, especially if you go to Harbor Freight. And they're generally speaking a very standard size. However, on some vehicles, you might have some odd situation, like a Mercedes, or if you have something really exotic like an Aston Martin, you might need a different socket size, but generally speaking, the standard size works. The standard size is this 5/8 here. And if you're wondering what makes this a spark plug puller, a special socket, typically it's just the length and that size. Now, I'm just demonstrating today to show you how to do it, and I don't actually need to change my spark plugs today, so I'm not going to be undoing this wire. However, you would normally be able to just pull these off straight back with your hands. However, these are a little bit stiff, and in that case, you would just take a pair of pliers and as gently as you can, go down here around the base, not around the wire, and pull them straight out. And underneath, you will see your spark plug. You would just take your spark plug puller. You might need an extension to go in between these right here, between your ratchet and your spark plug puller, because of how tight it is. But you would just go in there and undo it like you would a normal bolt. And then when you're done and you're ready to pull out the old one and replace the new one, you would just slide the new one in there and do it the other way, tightening it back up, and then place the cord back over it with the cap. 2 things to remember: when you're placing in your new spark plug, make sure that you're threading it in properly, because you definitely do not want to cross thread your spark plug into your engine, because that is a huge issue. Also, when you're placing the wire with this snap cap back on, make sure that it actually clicks or snaps on. You feel it snap, maybe you hear it, because if you don't, it's probably not fully connected and you're not really getting spark because it's not getting power. And in the case of this Mercedes SLK320 and any other 320 Mercedes engine, you're going to need to pull off these coil packs in order to get to the other spark plugs because it's too tight. And in that case, you just need a T40 in order to take these off. They just pull straight off, set them to the side, do the same thing with your spark plugs. And on your engine and every other engine, if you have a V configured engine, you just need to repeat the same process you did to the right side to the left side. After you have all the coil packs and cords and new spark plugs back in place the way that they should be, you're just going to repeat the process of reversing everything and putting back on your engine cover if you have one, and replacing the tubes in the case of this engine. Now we've got everything back in place and we're golden, everything's done. And that is how you change your own spark plug. I hope you guys saw just how easy it is to do it yourself, and maybe you feel a little more confident and realize that it's not as tough as some mechanics or dealers want to tell you it is. If you can learn this skill and even just watch this YouTube video and do it while you're trying to change your own spark plugs and just muscle your way through it, you can save hundreds. If you were to pay a mechanic to do this job, it would be about $200 to $250 on the average. But if you pay for the products that you need yourself, meaning just the spark plugs, it would be about $10 a plug, depending where you got it. And that is huge savings for what would take only just a few minutes in order to do yourself. If you have any requests for more how-to videos or any specific questions about you changing the spark plugs on your specific vehicle, comment down below and let me know. Also, please like and subscribe and click that notification bell. And if you're interested, check out my last video about the top 5 tools that every car guy or gal needs in their garage. Anyway, thanks for watching.